Next up, we have Beth Turner. Beth, after a storied career with NOAA, moved into semi-retirement, and I say semi-retirement because we pulled her right back out to help us build out a regional ocean acidification monitoring plan that is in development through the Northeast Coastal Acidification Network. And Beth's going to talk about that process in itself.
Thank you, Jake. I am on the NECAN steering committee, and I chair their management and policy working group. It's one of the few things that I kept doing after I retired, so it is important to me. The NECAN sits within NERACUS. Jake is one of our current co-chairs, and we've been working for some time on ocean acidification and coastal acidification, which is caused when atmospheric CO2 levels rise and gets absorbed into the ocean with concurrent effects on the ocean chemistry and the ecology in the oceans. So we've been wanting to develop a monitoring plan for quite some time, and with the support of people that I should have mentioned here, NERACUS, NOAA Ocean Acidification Program, and NROC, we were able to do this in the past year. In order to set up such a plan, we recognized that we needed to get a lot of input from members of the community. So we decided to hold a series of webinars and a workshop. The webinars covered a variety of topics, which you can read here. And we had a variety of speakers, which ranged from individual estuary programs like the NEARS to large-scale monitoring programs like Northeast Fisheries Science Center, as well as indigenous interests, technology, some rapid response, which was initiated in part by the tri-post bloom and its effects on ocean chemistry, and modeling that kind of brings all of this together. So all of those happened. Oh, I'm sorry that this kind of went over each other there, but I'll walk you through it anyway. So all of these webinars happened over a period of several months. They're all archived on the NECAN website, as you can see there. And then we held the workshop at the beginning of November, where we brought a lot of folks together to talk about what their monitoring needs were under each one of these themes that are on the left there, and also to help prioritize monitoring needs that we had identified for the interagency working group on ocean acidification. So NECAN was asked to provide monitoring needs to that working group, who is also developing a monitoring plan nationwide. And so those needs are listed here. Unfortunately, we were not able to have the workshop before we were asked for that input on the monitoring needs, but we came up with these needs and then asked the workshop to second guess us on those. So they were ranked in one of our workshop exercises based on the importance to a number of user groups, the feasibility of doing these sorts of measurements, and the cost, because cheaper is always better. So this is how they ranked out, and you can see that there's a group here at the top that are sort of first, second, and third in all those categories. And then there's a group here at the bottom, which are fourth, fifth, and sixth in all those categories. So the one that one of the ones that came out on top was being able to measure OA, ocean acidification variables, chemistry, and biological measurements together, because a lot of the impacts on organisms happen very locally, and thinking about how populations react to the chemistry, we need to know those parameters. Also, most of the measurements that are being done right now are done in surface oceans, and so understanding what's happening underneath the surface, and especially close to the bottom where a lot of these organisms live, especially shell-making organisms, which are particularly impacted by ocean acidification, is important to know. So thinking about how to do subsurface monitoring came out fairly highly ranked. Thinking about measuring the entire carbonate system, these are a lot of interrelated variables that that can tell you a lot about the system as a whole. And so thinking about two of these carbon parameters, there are 4 interrelated variables that you can measure. So being able to measure at least 2 of them, you can calculate the other ones out. So that's very useful to know that. Being able to get more real-time and rapid response is important, as well as fluxes and rates that can help parameterize models and getting climate quality observations. So we're going to develop that report. We're going to brief it to NROC, think about writing a monitoring plan, briefing it out. And I wanted to thank all of our workshop participants, and please let us know if you have any input on this. Austin should be giving this talk, but he was unable to do so, so that's why you got me.